Hey everybody, so I know it's been quite a while since I put a video on my Facebook page. It was giving me quite a bit of trouble, honestly, so I went to other platforms, but I'm going to give it a shot today and see how this goes. I'll probably just link this to my YouTube channel. It's the easiest way to do it. So anyways, so today I'm going to do a quick video on eyebrow waxing. And I apologize, it's a little awkwardly set up, but it was the best I could kind of put together. So here we go. All right, let's see. So first you have some things that you don't want to do before you wax your brows. You don't want to use any of your acne medication, like an Accutane, because that is meant to thin out the skin, which is great for acne, not great for waxing, because it's going to make your skin thinner and more susceptible to the wax. You also want to be mindful of how much sun exposure you've gotten the day before or the day after you wax, because waxing is a type of exfoliation, so you always want to be careful when you're weighing out sun exposure and exfoliation. Also, the day that you're going to wax, try not to wear any makeup for two reasons. One reason, because when you wax, you want to make sure the surface is as clean as possible, because you are opening up those hair follicles. And if you're going somewhere and getting them waxed, then you're going to end up with makeup line, your makeup gone around your eyebrow. So, and you do not want to throw makeup on right after you've been waxed, because it's just going to cause breakouts and clogging, and it's not good. You also don't want to moisturize before you wax or right after you wax. Wait until the following day, because the moisturizer on the hair is going to make it a little bit trickier for the wax to adhere to it. So let's see. So first of all, I'm using this wax, the New Free New Des. Love this wax. This wax only gets up to your body temperature, so you cannot burn with this. You cannot burn yourself. Love this. Is the only wax I will use in my spas. I also make sure I have this at hand. You can grab this at Sally's, pretty cheap. And this is just an after waxing treatment. It takes that sting right away, and it's has some aloe in it, so it's nice and soothing. All right, so let's see if I can get this. And I have to use a mirror. I cannot do it in my phone because I am blind. So first you want to get this hair out of the way, because trust me, you don't want this sticking to any of your hair on your head. Your brow, yes. On your head, no. So what I'm going to do is just kind of shape them up. And there's no right or wrong to brow shapes. It's what you like. If you like them thicker, leave them thicker. If you like them thinner, leave them thinner. There is no right or wrong. The rule of thumb is generally, where to start them is the side of your nostril. If you go up, and right there is where they generally would start. And then where the arch is, you go to the side of your nostril and over your pupil, and that's where your arch is. And then the side of your nostril and the end of your eye, that's where the end is. So that's just a rule of thumb. Again, it's how you like them. There's no right or wrong. Okay, so I like to use these little sticks because they're easy to handle. You can also use these sticks, and you can get either one of these at Michael's, or even the dollar store, I think, has them. But I just find this one is a little bit easier to work with. So now first you want to make sure, like I said, with this wax, it doesn't get higher than your body temperature. But if you're using another type of wax, and most wax in the salon is a honey wax. I won't mention any brands, but and it gets too hot. And I would have clients come to me and say, oh, my skin pulls off when they're waxing me. That's just normal. Don't worry about it. And that is not normal. That means that your wax is too hot. So you don't want that. If the wax is doing any damage to the skin, back off the heat and try it again. But you definitely don't want the wax to be pulling off your skin. Okay, so everybody has a natural arch to their brow, and that you can see on the top of your brow. It's hard, like in here fills in sometimes, but you can always see it in the top of your brow. So if you have a less arch or a more arch, that's just what you naturally have, and just work with it. So let's see first. I hope you can see this. I think you can see me beyond the mirror. So first what I like to do is I like to brush them all upward, because that gives me a better view of the inside of what needs to come out. So we're going to grab a little wax, and you want to make sure you're putting on a thin layer of wax, because when you go and push down on your strip, you don't want the wax to squish into the brow and take off hair that you didn't mean to take off. You also want to make sure your strips are nice and thin. And you notice I only put it here first. I do it in 3 sections. I do it in this one, the arch, and then the tail. That's a lot easier than trying to put it on the entire brow and ripping it off. It's all about control. So we're just going to push down on this wax. We're not going to rub, because when you rub, it brings the blood to the surface, and that's when you could end up with bruising. So you just do a gentle push, that's plenty. Hold your skin, put it on, wax on in the direction of the hair, and pull off in the opposite direction. And you also want to make sure that you're pulling it flush with the skin. What I mean by that is when you put the wax on, and you put the strip on and just press it down. You don't want to do this. You don't want to pull up. You want to make sure you're pulling parallel to the skin, because if you do this, that's also going to bring the blood to the surface and cause bruising, and it's more painful. So you want to make sure you don't pull up, you pull parallel to the skin. And now we're going to do the arch. And again, this is all just how you want your brow shaped. I happen to like an arch in mine. And you never want to reuse the same strip. You can fold it in half and use where there's no wax, but you never want to put this wax back on here, because now you're losing that element of control again. You want to use a clean strip for every single pull that you do, because now I can just put that strip right over there, and I don't have to worry about the wax from somewhere else being where I don't want it. And again, we're going to hold our skin and pull parallel. And if you put your finger on the surface right away, it takes that tingling right down. It shuts those nerves right down. Okay, and then we're going to do the tail end. And we're doing a new piece. And we're just going to push that down. And we're going to pull. And you can see that gives you a nice clean surface there. Now you can go in with your tweezers and clean up the area. I especially need to do the tail. And if you want to shape up the arch a little bit more with the tweezers, it's easier. You don't want to try to go back in with more wax and clean up that arch, because most likely you're going to go too far. I know, I've been there, done that. So it's much easier to clean up that arch with the tweezers. And you can do above the brow. I like to brush them down so that I can see, again, I can see the line above here. And some salons won't do above. Some people don't like above waxed. That's fine. I happen to have really darker hair, so I like to have mine waxed on the side here. And again, we're going to go in with a clean strip. And just push down and pull. And then you can put them back. Back in, and again, you can go in and you can trim. I don't have my magnifying mirror that I'm using my regular mirror, so it's a little hard for me to see, so I will go back in with my magnifying mirror and clean them up some more. But that's basically all I do with the wax on that. So again, we're going to go in with the second one, and we want to go in with putting very, very little wax on my stick, because again, you want to make sure, and you can actually put it a little bit lower and then pull those hairs into the wax that you want to include, rather than trying to go too far up into the hairline. And again, we're just going to press, hold the skin, pull parallel, and put the finger down. And then again, we're going to go in and do the arch. And we're just pulling in those hairs. Just pressing down, hold, pull parallel, put the finger on to stop the tingling. And we're going to go to the tail. And again, I'll go in, I'll clean up my arch a little more when I have my magnifying mirror. Do a little more cleanup. I'm going to pull these hairs forward, and I pull these hairs forward so that I don't grab any of the ones that I want to leave there. I just want to get that outside of my tail. There used to be a day when I could just tweeze the outside of my tail, but again, my vision is not what it used to be, so it's easier for me to get the majority of it with the wax. So again, I'll go and I'll clean them up using this as my guide. And then after you're all set, after you're all done, you don't want to put this on until you know that you're absolutely done with all your waxing. Because once you put this on, the wax isn't going to, and you only need a tiny little bit, the wax isn't going to want to stick. So we just put that on. And you can also go in and wax here. I don't really get that much hair there, so I don't tend to wax it, and I like these kind of a little bit shaggy on the ends, so I don't wax the middle. But you would go in and you would put the wax in an upward direction, and then you would put the strip and pull down, because that's the direction that the hair will grow, in the middle. So that's it. That's a quick little lesson on waxing your brows. I hope that these tips helped. If you're going to attempt to do it yourself, or if you've been doing it yourself for a while and maybe just an extra tip. But anyway, I am glad that I jumped on, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.